Okay, so today we're going to talk about your book description. Your book description is working against you, and it's serious. Book descriptions are serious, and a lot of authors bypass this step. Your book description is like, and it is the pitch for your book. Think of it as an elevator pitch. Everybody knows about an elevator pitch. Everybody knows, what you need to establish an elevator pitch, right? Do the same with your book, but for your book description. This is how people learn what the book is about. After they have looked at the title, they've checked out the book cover, they decided that they want to read more, they go right to the book description, and sadly, a lot of book descriptions are horrible. They are horrible to the point where you don't know what the book is about, or the book description does not even match the title or the book cover. And so you, I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to create a book description that sells. Right now, I'm going to show you my Google document, and then I'm going to go over to Amazon and show you what the book descriptions look like in the bestseller categories and some of the genres. And guess what, guys? Mimic that. Mimic that stuff, because that's how you're going to sell the book, especially to my authors out here who don't want to get their, hands dirty. You just kind of want to write and publish and boom, there you go. Then when you do that, you need to make sure that that book description is on point so you can go to sleep, close your eyes, and people can buy your book. No one's going to buy a book with a crappy book description. They're just not, right? They're not, unless you're really hardcore pushing traffic that way and your book title sells and you did a whole bunch of promo. But at the end of the day, most of us aren't doing that. We're not doing that. And guess what? We're not looking at a book description. So the first thing you need to do with your book description is make sure that you have a catchy headline. Your headline has to be catchy. Stop thinking of your book description as like a synopsis, right? Like you're just like reading some dissertation to us. No, this is an advertisement. So you need to get us, you need to hook us with a catchy hook. How would you like it? Or did you know that? Like whatever it is, based on your genre, based on what type of book you are, a catchy hook, a catchy headline to get your readers. And that goes back into day one, identifying and knowing who your readers are. Because if you knew who they were, then you know what would catch their attention with your book. If you have a book about domestic violence, then you're going to get a catchy hook. It's like, hey, do you feel isolated, or are you in a relationship that is abusive, or whatever that is? You have to get a catchy hook for your book description. And I put in here to capture your reader's attention and create curiosity. Create the curiosity so that they can continue to read more. The next one is, don't write your description in one long text. Like this whole, everybody's writing a description and then it's like this, not even like numbered how mine is up here. You're just writing this long paragraph. No one's reading that. I promise, no one is going to read all that mess. They're not. And you are doing yourself a disjustice, and now you're disappointed because no one's even reading this. I work with a couple of clients who were like asking me if I read their book description. No, I'm not reading that. That's so much like jargon in there that you haven't even separated it, and you really don't. It shows that you do not care about your readers. You don't care about your readers, and you don't care about your sales page. So stop with this long form. Separate it. Keep your paragraph between 2 to 3 sentences for readability. Number 3, use bullets or numbered lists to explain your topics and key points, especially with my nonfiction authors. You're a nonfiction author, you have a book about mindset, resilience, whatever it is. I know for a fact you have 5 tips, 5 steps, 5 ways, 6 ways, 7 affirmations, 5 scriptures, or whatever it is. You need to put that stuff in bullet format, because the way people look on Amazon and on any of these book pages is, and look at the title and looking at the cover, they go right to your catchy headline and hook. Now they're skimming through all of this stuff going, let me see. Oh, she's talking about 1 way to do this and 3 ways to do that. Okay, great. Make sure you do that. Stop bundling that stuff up. No one's going to read that. No one's going to read that, guys. Number 4, let your reader know what they will gain from reading your book. A lot of times I don't see this at all, especially with nonfiction authors nowadays. You guys are just writing a book telling me like, hey, I want to write a book about, just motivating people. Motivating me to do what? Like, Okay, like what makes me want to read your book, and why is your book the book that I need to read this year to motivate me? Like, what am I going to get out of this book? Are you going to show me how to overcome something? Am I supposed to be excited when I read this book? Is this book supposed to help me to grow? Say that. Be transparent. Be open. Be honest, and tell them that. Number 5 is highlight the benefits of getting your book and identify what pain point your book will solve. So you need to let them know, like, hey, from this book, you're going to be able to, sleep at night, um, wash the dishes, with a clear mindset, whatever that is. You need to let them know that. And then what the pain point will solve. If you are, someone who's always tired at night, and my book is going to show you 5 ways on how you can get the rest you need without taking any over-the-counter medicine. Like, wow, I need that book. Like, I want to read this. That right there is going to help someone to click on the link to buy and put it in their cart and read it. Number 6 is use active voice when writing. You are the authority in a book. So use the active voice. Stop using the passive voices and all that stuff. Use the active voice. And honestly, you need to be writing your book description in the third person. Write your book like you're the publisher. Write your book like someone is telling them about you, right? Like, in this book, you will learn. Not in this book, I will teach you how to. No, 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 no. Write in the third person. Write it as if you're the publisher. Write it as if you're someone telling another person about this book. Hey, girl, in this book, you're going to learn about all these different steps about resilience, and she even has the blah, blah, blah. Write it in that voice. Okay, that's how you should be writing that. And then the other one is spell check. So a lot of times people aren't spell checking, and there's some weird, crazy, funky, like hidden text and code and stuff in there that if you're uploading to Amazon, is gonna, there is not gonna work good for you at all. So go back through your stuff. Make sure you don't have any of the weird text in there. Everything's spelled properly. Stop putting all these question marks in there. Are you someone that likes this? Are you someone that likes that? Like, that stuff right there, it works against you. You need to turn those questions into statements. Like, instead of continuing to have a whole book description of questions, make it into a statement, where it's like, hey, are you looking for a book that will help you sleep? No. You're having problems sleeping, right? You need help with da 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 da. Like, tell them, talk to them in a statement type of voice with that. And now we're going to go over to Amazon really quick and show you guys, and I just put this in, show you guys how important it is to make sure that your book description has all the key elements I just said, and to include keywords. The way people search for books is not just throwing in mindset and love and books to encourage me. No, 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 no. It is a search term. It is a particular way people search. Like, I put in here, how to shift your mindset. That's what I put in here for the book, just searching, right? If I'm online and think about how people shop, how you shop, I'm looking for a book that's going to help shift my mindset. That's what I get for the number one. Look at that number one bestseller. They're a bestseller for a particular reason. I'm not talking about the people that dupe the system and do this whole throwing their book into some random category to become bestseller. That's cheating to me. That's not even cool. Like, mm-mm, I don't care. That's not even cool at all. But if you are do everything the right way, you can become a bestseller. You can get people to buy your book and download the book, whether they like it or not. This book right here, 490 downloads or reviews, and then row ratings, and then look at the title, right? The title has everything in a search that I did. Whatever it takes, master the habits to transform your business, relationship, and life, right? Has everything that you need up in that title. You click on the book, so we see the title, like it came up in my search, boom, bestseller. Now let's see what the book description looks like here. Literally has a header, from serial entrepreneur, whatever that is. And a lot of times, you can definitely tell them who you are, from best-selling author of blah blah blah. Or if your first book, tell them, from speaker and coach, whoever you are. And you don't even have to do that in some of them. Just make sure you have a catchy headline. And this one is, no matter who you are or where you come from, your education or your network, you can defy odds to create the life you want and build. Pretty catchy, right? Because I'm like, oh, cool. Talking about defying odds and all that other stuff. And then what are you going to do? You're going to scroll down a skim and boom, you see these bullet points here? I don't even have to read the rest of this. Whatever it takes offers, okay, break, bad habits, boom, master tiny behaviors. Okay, great, got it. And then at the end, he closes it out, right? With something like you too can defy the odds and this book is waiting for you or whatever it is. Make sure you close out that stuff. Those are the key things because they have those search terms in there. Somewhere in his book description, mindset popped up in there because it showed in my search for me to look at that. But take a look at all those books within your genre, within your category, and what are they doing for their book descriptions. You're going to see a big difference compared to your book description and their book description, right? And these books in this category, they have like red covers, they have like bold text for their titles, and these are the two, top two up in here. And let me click on the second one really quick. And I'm just by the same guy actually. And I'm just literally clicking on, the best selling. So look into the best selling books in your genre so you can kind of get an idea of how those descriptions are written, and you'll see a huge, 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 huge difference in how you're doing things compared to other people. This right here will definitely help you to reach your 1K goal in selling your book. See you guys on the next video.